it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what your background is, you're all there for the same purpose and goal, and that is to just ride.
I've lived in Springfield all my life. I think the greatest compliment I can give Springfield is that I chose to raise my family here. I chose to have my businesses here. But at the same time, we got to continue to grow as a city.
I was pleasantly surprised when we moved back to Springfield about 2 years ago that the mountain bike scene was already present and growing quite quickly, in my opinion. I had been looking into what the trails were like when we decided to move back 2 years ago, and one of my first ideas was to come back here and help build trails and maybe even start a trail center. And I stumbled across Trail Spring and saw that they're already doing that. So I realized that, okay, they've got something in place already that's growing and very popular. What else can I do with it? So yeah, it's a very popular sport here, and it seems in the 2 years I've been back, it's quadrupled in participation.
Trails contribute to every aspect of community. Recreation is really key in attracting new residents and keeping young professionals, and really you're looking for something to do and you want a reason to stay where you are. So by incorporating trails into a community, we're really opening it up for tons of possibility for growth on an economic level, tourism, introducing new businesses, new types of businesses, and Trail Spring just really wants to be on the front of the conceptual design. What does that look like over the next 5 years, 10 years, and how are we going to mold this community into something that people are going to want to be a part of and want to join.
People's needs are different now. They want amenities as much as anything. They're looking to have fun during the day and at night, and to me, cycling is one of those greatest mechanisms. Yes, it's to attract young people, but it's also to keep the old guys here. We're looking for something to do as well. But I think what we don't understand, because it's somewhat new, is what an economic driver that is, to have those people here, staying nights in our hotels, eating in our restaurants, but bigger than that, staying and working here and choosing to raise and build our companies.
It's important that you retain that talent in Springfield. So there's tons of talented people that want to call this place home because they have family here, they were raised here. And by having a community that embraces the outdoors and the things that they're passionate about, that goes a long way into them being really fulfilled about where they live.
I know as for me, as a young person, I don't want to leave here because I know the potential, and I know the trails that have been built and the trails that will be built is really cool, and I don't want to leave that. I've actually been offered jobs in Durango, Colorado, and Portland, Oregon, both of those places being very, big into the outdoor community and sports. And if we didn't have what we have here as far as trails go and the community, I probably would have definitely considered moving and going to those places. But it wasn't even a question for me because I love it so much here.
Our ridership has more than tripled in the last 3 years since the development of our last trail system. And I think with the development of this trail system, it'll do it again.
When we had the idea of Dirt 66, it's all of this land on the north side of Springfield that's really kind of untapped, untouched. There's so much potential. And I feel like it just needed a powerhouse to kind of step up and say, okay, this is how we're going to make things work. This is how we're going to fund it. Let's get all of our ducks in a row and just move forward as a community. So I think that's what Trail Spring is trying to be for the community, is get this mileage on the ground, and that's Dirt 66.
More trails in your community creates a healthier, happier living environment. People are outside recreating more rather than sitting inside watching the TV. They live healthier, happier lives, and a bicycle provides that, and trails provide that.
I believe that the timing is perfect for the Dirt 66 project. We've got some great trails around the Springfield area, but we definitely need more. And of course, the more trails that we have, the more riders we're going to have. The more riders we have, the better the economy, the better of the biking community. The mountain bike community is definitely growing, but it will grow exponentially if we're able to have the Dirt 66 project become that reality.
I remember actually talking to a guy who worked on trails in New Mexico, and he had previously been at a big mountain biking event in the Midwest, and he told me that he had never met a more friendly biking community anywhere that he had been, and he's been around.
The timing is right for Dirt 66 and the introduction of new trails in the community simply because the vibe is really high. There's a huge demand for cycling, there's a huge demand for recreation. We're growing as a community. We see more and more students, more and more young professionals. Friends that are looking to move into town ask me what there is to do. So I know personally that it's the right time because the need is there, the desire is there. And we have enough people in the right positions, and we just need to make it happen.
From an economic standpoint, it's something that all of our leaders need to get behind. They're not used to seeing what that ROI is, but it's there and it's big.
You don't have to be an avid cyclist or a hardcore racer. Just enjoying the outdoors brings the community together. You see more people commuting. I just think it's a win-win all around.